remember, if I am going too fast, either like wave at me if you've got your camera like, hello, stop, or put it in the chat box going, you're going too fast, because sometimes I get excited and I like to bake, so I tend to go fast. So 3 cups of flour in your bowl. Okay, and let me know when you guys are good, like give me the thumbs up saying, yeah, we're good with 3 cups of flour. Okay, next is half a teaspoon of baking powder. So if you got the baking powder, the no-name stuff, half a teaspoon of that goes in.
I want to know, do they need to sift the flour?
No, no sifting the flour. You're good. And half a teaspoon of salt has to go in there as well. Okay,
Once we have that in there, should we start mixing it?
Yes, I was just about to say that, Jeffrey. So if you have all of those 3 ingredients in your bowl, just mix it up a little bit so they're well blended. And am I going too fast? Everyone good? Thumbs up? We're good? Okay, Nina, we're good?
Could you just wait a second?
Yep, absolutely I can.
Thank you.
And Nina wants to know if gluten-free flour can be substituted for regular flour.
Absolutely, 100%. Nina, if you're using gluten-free flour, we're just gonna have to add a little bit moisture content to it. That's all.
And another question, if the flour is really packed into the bag, is it too much flour when scooped and leveled with a knife, or like how much? It's okay if it's kind of tight together?
Yeah, you're good. Okay. Gwen, you know what? I'm the type of baker, and this is why I teach. Leveling it off, yeah, it really doesn't matter. Honestly, it's like a science experiment. Think of it that way. You put a little bit extra, you're still good. If you put a lot, whoa, no. So it's a little bit, doesn't have to be flat, doesn't have to be there. Just chuck it in there, you're good. All good. Okay, so thumbs up. Sadie, are you good? Let me know.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so we're gonna do Crisco. So if you got your Crisco, I have it in little blocks like this. You're gonna take it out of the box. We're gonna do half a cup of Crisco, and you're gonna put it into the bowl. And you're gonna put in as well as a half a cup of unsalted butter. Now, if you have salted butter, does anybody have salted butter? Let me know. Oh. Okay, Gwen, don't worry, honey. I got your back. You're not going to fail at this one. You're good. Okay, learning to bake.
Salted butter.
Okay, so you guys have salted butter? Okay,
Yeah,
so what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the content of the salted butter. What is the Crisco? What if the Crisco was cold, Danielle? That's all right. You're still good. All good. Yeah, you're still good. So if you have salted butter, what I want you to do is put a 1/4 cup of salted butter. And the reason being is because there's a moisture content in salted butter that unsalted butter doesn't have. So we want to reduce the amount of moisture content in it. So you're going to reduce the butter by half. So 1/4 cup of salted butter. If you have unsalted butter, then we are going to continue as is. So half a cup of Crisco. Let's start off with that. Here we go. Excuse me. And a half a cup of butter. What? Who else's hands is getting really greasy? Like, kind of greasy in there. Yeah. Hi, Ammon. Yep.
Do I put the Crisco and the butter in the same bowl in which I have the flour?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What if our butter is like has been in the fridge?
That's okay. That's what we want.
Okay.
We want it solid because you're going to make sort of like a crumble with it, which that's the next step. So we're going to do half a cup.
Any way for you to move your camera so we can see the consistency in your bowl?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely.
What's the problem? It's just if I can see it, then I know
Yeah.
I'm doing it right.
Sorry, I always tend to forget that. I apologize. Okay,
No problem.
okay. So I've got my Crisco in here. I'm just gonna get my butter. And I'm just, if you look at your butter too, just so you know.
So
On
if
it.
we have salted butter, only a quarter cup, right?
That's right, only a quarter cup. So
All
on
right.
your butter usually has like this measurement stuff. Follow the lines and the directions. It'll let you know that where to cut it and how to measure it. Just cutting mine.
What if you don't have Crisco? Can I just use all salted butter?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
So if you're using salted butter, then you probably want to put about
No
a 3.
Crisco.
You don't have any Crisco?
I have no Crisco.
Okay, but do you have salted butter or unsalted butter?
I have salted butter.
That's okay. So put in half a cup of salted butter in there. And we can always adjust it after. It's just the moisture content is really high, so you don't want to have it too liquidy. We don't want that. Okay, so
My crust is always hard as rock.
that's okay. That's what you want. You want your butter to be solid. There's a reason for it. We're going to make sort of like a crumble with it. So your next step is if you have a pastry kind of cutter like this.
I think Jackson has one.
Does Jackson have one? Yes. Oh, look. And Deepa has one. Oh, and Ammon's got one. Look at you guys go. Seriously. If you've got one of these, great. If you do not, that's okay. Use a knife or a fork. And what you want to do is you want to mix the butter and the Crisco together in the bowl. So it almost looks like pea-size crumbles in there. That's what your goal is. So that's your next step. Kind of crush it in there and get pea-sized stuff in there. It might be a little hard. We want the butter to be hard because if butter was soft, you'd never get that pea-sized stuff.
We do have a question. Can you use your hands?
Sure, absolutely you can. Where you're going to gain all your muscles, and you don't have to go to the gym tonight, so don't worry about it. You're going to be good. This is your workout for the day. It's going to take a little bit, and as you can see, I'm taking big chunks of butter off my grater type thing. So because I want it to be mixed, it builds up on there. You don't want that.
Stephanie, I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
Oh, good. We'll get along well. I was wondering if it matters if you're using, saying like no-name all-purpose flour or no-name products versus the brand.
Okay, I'm gonna lift my camera up just a little so you can see my lovely face again. No.
Okay.
It does not matter. Some bakers will tell you that they're going to get high quality stuff from like Robin Hood or Bake Mark stuff or whatever. In my opinion, I've been baking for 20 some odd years. There is no difference. I haven't seen a difference at all. So no, the answer is no. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm still working at it. Don't worry, you can't overwork this part. You're still good. So it's a little bit more crumbly than an actual pea size. You're still okay.
All you're
Does
doing
mine
is now.
look
Can you
okay?
look what we
Hang on, let me just hang on a second. Let me just get my camera so we can actually see what's going on. Sadie, that looks really good. Is it like a crumble? I'm going to show you what mine looks like. I'm going to bring it up
Yeah,
close.
it's like crumble.
It's like a crumble, then you're perfect. Okay,
Right.
so it's like this almost, if you can see it on the camera. Almost like a crumble
Yeah.
type situation. Yep, then you're perfect. You're almost for the next stage. So we're just going to wait for everybody to get to that next thing. So put your thumbs up if you are good to go. If you're still working on it, then I'll wait. Dana, you're good? Okay, all right, let's go on to the next stage. Good, good, good. Danielle, Gwen, you're good. Okay. All right, so the next one we want to do, so I want you to get a measuring cup like this. Does everybody have a measuring cup? Got a measuring cup, go grab that. Let me know if you do not have one, then we're gonna figure that out.
How big does it have to be?
This one's a 2-cupper.
All right.
2 cups. Okay, has everyone got it? Okay, we're good. Is it possible to substitute whole wheat flour to make it healthier? Absolutely. You can make it as healthy as you want, but I can guarantee by the time you put the filling in, it's not going to be very healthy. Just an FYI.
I do like the healthier in quotation marks.
Yeah, healthier. Yeah, I know.
Still fluffy, I guess.
Yes, it'll still be fluffy. It'll be a little bit dense with the whole wheat, but it'll still have that fluffiness to it. Okay, so everybody got their cups going? What we're going to do is we're going to put the egg and the vinegar in here. So crack 1 egg, right? It's 1 egg, yeah. And 1 teaspoon of vinegar. So that's what you want in here. As a safety instructor, after you crack your egg, you should wash your hands to prevent cross-contamination of salmonella. So crack an egg, go wash your hand, then put the vinegar in. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of vinegar. You ready? Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do is grab your, well, it says 1 cup of cold water here. So I have a 1/2 cup. But what I want you to do is take your half a cup, and I want you to fill this to 1 cup. Does that make sense? So fill it with cold water to 1 cup. Is everybody good? Everybody understand what I'm saying? Good? Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure. Okay, we're good. Okay, everybody good?
We do have somebody saying that they think they're such a bad baker that they want to see what good bakers do that's different.
Well, Gwen, you know what? I was a bad baker to begin with. When I started baking, I burnt stuff so bad. And I still actually do it. I have a story to tell you. I'm going to tell you a story. I tried making chocolates for the very first time. You know those molding chocolates you can get? I tried it for the very first time like 2 days ago. The first try, it didn't work. It broke. It was everywhere. I was like, whatever. I walked away, closed the door. I'm like, I'm going to come back. Then I decided to make it a second time. And lo and behold, they worked. So here I am, have all these fantasies in my head. I'm going to, I can make all sorts of different kinds now. Woohoo! But you always have to try. So always remember that you got to start somewhere. And don't worry, girls, or guys, if you're in there. I got your back. We're going to good. We're going to be good. Right? Okay. So everybody's got their cup with their water. Perfect. Good job, Jackson. Looks good. Okay. So
We just started.
say that again. All right. We're good? Okay. So what I want you to do is the bowl with your flour and all your lovely stuff in it. I want you to pour it into like gradually pour it in. The way I'm doing it, like this. Slowly, slowly. And this is the fun part. This is the part you're going to get to work out with. Take your lovely hands, and now you're going to mix it. So if you have gloves, which I'm going to put gloves on because I have a ring that's going to have dough on it and I don't want that. But if you don't worry about it. Get your hands in there and mix it up. But remember, don't over mix it. Pie dough needs love. So gently mix it together and put your love in there. Don't like, you know, get all angry and take your frustrations of the day out on it, because that's what it wants. It wants love, not anger. It wants to be needed. So it should gently come together in a nice ball. Now, Gwen, if you're using gluten-free flour, you might have to add a little bit more water to it, but you'll know that once you start getting it's coming together and it's not coming together just fully, you might want to add some water to it. And if you're using whole wheat flour as well, you might have to add a little bit more water. Totally have Christmas music going. Does anybody sing? They can sing a Christmas song? That's nice.
We had a question, will the consistency be the same for the whole wheat as white in the end, like what you have?
The gluten one will be a little bit different consistency, but it'll still work out if you put the extra added water in it. And so same thing with the whole wheat flour. The consistency, of course, because you don't have the gluten in the gluten-free flour, will be just a bit different, but it'll still come together. I've done them in gluten-free flour before. You have gluten-free. Really have friends in mind.
Stephanie, can
Yes, I
this pastry recipe be used for pies as well?
Okay, sorry, ask me that question again, sorry.
Oh, okay. Can this recipe for the pastry itself be used for pies?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so if you can see it, my dough, it's coming together in a bowl. Sadie, that looks good. I think it looks good. I can see, yep. Yeah, if it's coming together in a ball like this, it should be a little bit crumbly. See how it's kind of a little bit crumbly? That's okay. You don't want to overwork the dough either. So once it comes into a bowl like this, what I want you to do is put a little bit of flour on a counter, and we're gonna work on the dough on the counter itself, and then we're gonna start rolling it out. So is everybody there? We're almost all there? Okay, so grab a little bit of flour. On the table there. I'm going to move my camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. And of course, you're going to need a rolling pin to roll it out. Turn that dough over there. Am I going a little too fast? Everybody good? So I'm going to continue. So what I want you to do is kind of just gently knead it on the table. Again, don't take your frustrations out of the day on your dough, because you don't want that. The dough needs loving. Okay, once it comes together in a ball, I want you to kind of flatten out like a disc. Put some flour there. So like, okay, like this. See how I'm kind of flattening it like a disc like this? I want you to kind of flatten it out into a disc. Now, some people like to use wax paper on top of it to roll it out so that it doesn't stick to your rolling pin. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I don't do it, but my mother-in-law does it. I just put a little bit extra flour on the top and I'm gonna roll it out. So you wanna roll it out till about half an inch or so. You want it a little bit thick, but not too thick. Then your dough won't cook all the way through with all of your innard stuff. Okay, tell me, either by typing it out or unmuting, is anybody gonna add anything to their butter tarts? Like, oh, who's gonna add raisins? Anybody?
Yes, but they're gross, but my husband likes them.
Yeah.
My mom really wants me to add raisins, but I don't really like raisins, so.
The great raisin debate begins.
Oh, the great debate begins.
I'm gonna put
Okay.
it in like
We have a lot of different types of chips, I guess.
Okay, so you can add, so I see that Maria's gonna add walnuts and Gwen's gonna add raisins. So you can basically add anything really, raisins, any kind of nut really, except for peanuts, don't add those. So pecans or walnuts, or chocolate chips. Yep, Jeffrey, perfect. Yeah, you can add chocolate chips or butterscotch chips. What's the blue one? Is that vanilla?
It's salted caramel.
Oh, it's salted
We
caramel.
also have peanut butter and then butterscotch.
Oh, peanut butter. I don't know if peanut butter would be good. The salted caramel ones would be good. I think that would taste really good.
Yeah, those sound really good.
Yeah, it sounds really good. Okay, for all you people who are putting raisins in, gross, but enjoy, because that's the great debate in my house, whether it's raisins or not. And it's a great debate and it's a great fight. But because I bake it, I don't put any.
This kind of looks like pizza dough.
Right. Like, what do you want to put on your pizza?
So while we're rolling it out, do we add the chocolate chips in?
Nope, not yet.
No,
Don't
not
add
yet.
anything to the dough. You want to roll it out. We're going to cut it out.
Excuse
Before you
me,
add anything.
excuse me.
Yes, my dear.
My dough doesn't look like yours.
Okay, show me your dough, Maria.
It's all breaking up.
Okay, so put it back in the bowl
Uh-huh.
and add a little bit more water to it.
Oh, okay.
So add probably about a teaspoon of water and mix it gently so the water gets in there. And it's going to take a little bit for that moisture to get into the dough, so keep mixing it gently.
It's because I'm using hot wheels.
Are you using the
Whole,
whole wheat flour?
yes.
Okay, yes, that's probably why, because the moisture whole wheat kind of sucks the moisture, goes, and so you need to add more moisture to it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna move my camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And don't worry if your dough isn't a perfect center. Or a circle, I mean. It does not matter. It's not going to make any difference. Even if you're making pie, so Deepa, if you're making pie with this dough, don't worry about it being complete circle. If it's kind of like an oval shape or whatever, it's all good. You just put it in there, you cut the sides off, you're good to go. It has to be perfect. It has to be edible and enjoyable. That's what matters. Okay, so a trick for rolling out is start in the center and roll outwards. Don't start on the edges and roll in. Go in the center and roll out. Even if it takes you a few times, it's all right. Okay, is everybody good for rolling? Okay, so what I want you to do, let my words and my brain work together today, because that's just not happening. You know why? It's because of these new glasses, right? I've got new glasses because I'm old. and I need progressive glasses. So my brain and my eyes and everything's not working. It's all good. I want you to spray your pans with either Pam, or if you've got butter or margarine, slather in there. Yeah, so Pam, perfect. So I want you to spray each one generously with some Pam in there. Everyone good? Maria, how is your dough coming along?
I think it's a little bit better, but
Okay. Oh, that looks better. Yep, absolutely. Keep rolling it out. Roll from the center outwards.
I will.
Okay. Done generously. I put a lot in there.
Maybe I missed it, but how thick should it be when you're done rolling?
Oh, about a half an inch to a quarter inch. You don't want it too thick, and you don't want it too thin. And you're gonna know if it's too thick or too thin the first time you cut into it. If it's too thick, we can fix that, not to worry, all good. And if it's too thin, well, you can start over. So thumbs up if everybody is sort of at the point where we have to start cutting. Maria, you almost there?
Yes.
Okay, thumbs up for cutting. We're good? Okay. I'm gonna show you my camera, what I'm doing. Okay, so with my cutter, I'm just gonna make little things like this. If you want to use one of these or a knife to take it up from the table or counter. So mine is a little thick. And the reason being is because it's gonna expand a little bit and I don't want it that thick, but that's okay. But I'm gonna show you what you have to do, and that way we can continue along. So you can take your pan. Ooh, let's see if I can do this. Can everybody see it? Yes, okay. So you're gonna take your dough, you're gonna kind of make it into like a little fold like that, and you're gonna put it in to your muffin pan, and you're gonna squeeze it down. And we'll take your little finger, and I want you to press on the edges at the bottom. So I'm gonna show you, just give me a second. Actually, mine's not too thick, it's supposed to be okay. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I did. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna put it on the edges like this. See what I'm doing? Around the edges? So that's good. Anybody have any questions? No, we're good? Okay, off you go. Start cutting away, doing your thing. By the time you get to the end of that one roll of dough that you've rolled out and you've cut all of them out, it's all good. Make it into a lovely ball and roll it back out so you get more out of it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm gonna roll mine out because it's a little too thick. And I'm gonna put some Christmas music on. Is that all right? Because I don't sing, I'm tone deaf. Christmas music is good? Okay, let's do it. Okay. Is everyone
With the recipe that you sent, how many should I get?
about 12 to 15? Depends.
Okay.
Depends on how much you roll it out.
Yeah, I only 12, so
That's
it.
okay. All good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so thumbs up, everybody good. They're rolling out. Everything's good. Okay, Deanna, yeah. Okay, Deepa, you're good. Okay. Okay. So what I want you to do is either grab a knife or a fork, and I want you to poke the bottom of them. And the reason why you're doing this is so that it doesn't bubble up inside. It lets the air out as it's baking. So just I'm going to take a knife and I'm just literally going to poke holes in it. Couple holes in each one. Okay, once you've done that, I want you to go put them in your fridge. Go wash your hands and we'll meet back here in 1 minute. Okay, once you've done that, I want you to turn your ovens on to 375. If you have a convection oven, oh, Nina, can you clarify the whole again? How many? You know, honestly, just take a fork. Doesn't matter how many. Just kind of do that with them at the bottom. Doesn't matter how many times you poke it. Just poke it and off it goes. For the ones that are just put the stuff in the fridge, I want you to turn your ovens on. If you have a convection oven, meaning the fan in the back that rotates, I want you to put it at 350. If you have an electric oven, that's the one with the coil at the bottom, I want you to sit it at 375. Okay, so I just wanted to point out behind me, Sadie, say you got out of your comfort zone. On all my wall, every time I walk in my kitchen, it says, believe in your dreams. Because every time I walk in here, this was my dream, always to have a commercial kitchen in my house. So I put it on my wall to remind me every single day to go for your dreams. One day. Okay, so you're gonna need a pot. I'm gonna grab this. Okay, so pot, your brown sugar. So grab your brown sugar. Brown sugar. My mouth is with my brain is not working together. So in here, the brown sugar is 3/4 cup. So put in the pot 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And the butter also goes in here. So we are going to put in a 1/3 cup of butter. So that's 3/4 cup of brown sugar and a 1/3 cup of butter. Don't worry about the brown sugar being too packed in your measuring cup. Not a big deal.
Wait, do we put the butter in first or the brown sugar?
Doesn't matter.
All
It's
right.
all gonna melt. It's all gonna melt together.
And it's not on heat right now, right?
Yeah, you can turn it on. So turn on your oven till about medium to low.
Okay.
Does it matter if it's salted butter?
Okay, the salted butter. Right, you guys have salted butter. Not in this case. No, well, yes it does. So let's, now you're gonna make me do math in my head. And it's way too late for this. So a 1/3 cup, so half of a 1/3 cup would be
1/6.
1/6, yeah. So half of the 1/3, just take half of that, half of a half of the 1/3. Does that make sense?
Half of a 1/3.
Half of a 1/3. So if you've got any math whizzes out there that can do fractions that fast in your head, kudos to you, because I just don't do that. I use one of these to kind of mix it in. You can use a wooden spoon if you'd like.
Wouldn't half of a 1/3 be 2 tablespoons?
Nope.
Because that's what my stick shows. Oh, no, never mind. It's half. That would be half of a 1/4.
There we go.
Okay, yep. Math is hard. Anybody agree? Math is hard, and I was never good in math, ever. In all of my high school and college years, never good. But I became baker, and now fractions are my friend. Okay, so we're gonna melt those together. So yeah,
Okay.
put it about like medium heat or so.
Till it's like smooth.
Yep, till it's smooth. That's right.
Do we use a spatula or?
A spatula or a wooden spoon would be good.
All right.
If I turned on the right burner, that would work, wouldn't it? It's one of those days. Okay, has anybody done their Christmas shopping since we're waiting for the butter to melt? Has anybody finished their Christmas shopping? Anybody? No, Laura, you're like, hell's no. Okay.
Yes.
We've been in quarantine since November 11th. So
What? Why, honey? Can you?
because the 6-year-old tested positive, and we can't isolate a 6-year-old, so we had to do his quarantine and then a whole new quarantine in case we caught it.
Oh my gosh.
Not fun.
Okay.
At least you have baking to do, right?
Yeah, we're making the best of it.
Absolutely. My 15-year-old is in quarantine right now too. But of course it's all 4 of us, but it's kind of different because he's in high school. So he just has to quarantine till December 11th, but the rest of us are okay.
And totally different. You can't quarantine a 6-year-old. What are you going to do? Here's some goldfish and a bucket to pee in and have fun. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Mine just mine's not positive. Mine came in contact with it in his classroom. But as he said, the kid was sitting at this side of the gym and I was sitting at this side of the gym. So it's unlikely he'll catch it, but he's in.
That's what happened with us, but the contact was his BFF in class. So it's like, oh, you're going to get it. Enjoy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, honey, but come and bake with us. We're good.
Yeah.
Continue baking. We're good. Okay, so your butter should be starting to melt, hopefully. If not, turn it up a little bit and get it melting. Okay, while we're waiting for the butter to melt, go grab your whipping cream out. Open that container up.
I got way too big of a pot.
That's okay. Don't worry about the size of the pot. It's all good. The size does not matter in this situation. You can have the biggest pot. Doesn't matter.
Might be more annoying to wash it, but it won't do anything different here.
Yeah, at least it's not too small.
That's
too
great.
small, that'd be bad.
Can you? Someone's asking if they can substitute skim milk for whipping cream.
You kind of need the thickness. Do you? Who's the one that? Gwen. Gwen, do you have 2% milk? No, just skim milk. Okay, yeah, go for it, girl. If you don't have whipping cream, go for it. It'll all turn out the same. It should be fine. I just want to need the thickness, and I think the thickness is basically the fat content that you need, but it doesn't make any difference. Does she have? Oh, evaporated milk would be good. Yep. Do you have evaporated milk? Gwen? Nina's suggesting that too. Thank you, Nina. Yes, but it's really, really old. Okay, I know. Do not use that. Throw it out if it's old.
How long do we store it in the pot until we put the cream in?
Okay, so what I want you to do is stir it so it's all combined. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. See how it's combining together? I want you to it all to be combined. You don't want it to boil though.
Okay.
Okay, and then what we're going to do after that, the brown sugar, we're going to remove it and then put the cream or the milk in. So it has to be well combined, and it has to be, don't allow it to boil because that's going to make it like a caramel, like a thick caramel. You don't want that.
Oh, Jackson, I think we're trying to see what theirs looks like.
Okay, let's see. Perfect, that's good. It's not thick, is it, Laura? Kind of a liquidy still? Okay, so just leave it, take it off the burner. I'm just waiting for mine to, I'm gonna show you what mine looks like. So I still have a bit of butter in there, so I'm gonna let it melt a little bit more. So once it's completely melted, what I want you guys to do is take it off of the stove and actually turn your stove off. And you're gonna add the vanilla and your cream. So vanilla would be 1 teaspoon and 1 tablespoon of cream or the skim milk that Gwen is going to use. Okay, so I'm gonna take mine off and I'm gonna switch my camera around again so you guys can see what I'm doing over here. Be a bit better. There we go. Okay, so tablespoon of cream.
Somebody was saying dark brown sugar is still grainy and starting to separate.
That's okay, take it off.
Mine is a little bit thick.
That's okay, take it off and put your cream and your vanilla in it.
All right.
Of course, I do not measure my vanilla. I just shove it in. It's all good.
I was gonna say, that patented measuring right there.
Vanilla is so good. Why measure it? Just stick it in.
My one is very liquid.
Yours is liquid.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's good. You want to just mix together. Okay, Maria, did you use salted butter?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to add a little bit more brown sugar to it.
Okay.
So add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar to it. Okay, so I want this to cool. I want this pot to cool down just a little bit before we put the egg in, because the egg will cook right off the bat and we don't want to do that. So we're going to give it about 5 minutes. So for people who are just catching up, they can catch up. Is there a question? Does it make a difference if we use dark brown sugar? Okay, that's okay. That was Nina. Nina, you're good. Nina, where are you? Is it working out okay, Nina? Dana, you're good? Okay, add some more brown sugar in there, Maria.
Gwen's asking, do you need to add a 1/4 cup more brown sugar if she's using salted butter?
If it's liquidy, Gwen, then yes. Like Maria's is really liquidy. We need to add some more substance to it, so we're gonna add more brown sugar to it. We want to get a little thicker. Everybody else is good? Oh, I have skim milk. That's right. Okay, so right. So add some more brown sugar, a 1/4 cup at a time, until it gets like a kind of a thicker. You want a little bit of thicker.
Kind of looks like a caramel bar or something.
Yeah, it's not going to be super sweet. Don't worry about that.
Hey, Stephanie,
Yes, my dear.
do I add the whipping cream into the bowl also right now?
Yeah, so in your pot, add the whipping cream and your vanilla, mix it up, and we're gonna let it cool down for 5 minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How much thicker that I needs to be?
You know what? Put it on the burner and let it boil a little bit. Let it boil, not boil, but let it kind of warm up a little bit. It'll get thick. Same thing with you, Gwen.
Reese, like Reese's Pieces?
Oh, I said Rice, didn't I? Thanks, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Reese.
yeah. No, it's okay. I have to let my just making butter tarts. I've never made them before. And I do the library. So it's a free.
Okay, how's everyone doing?
Yeah, Pete told me that you called. So
Can we mute
Yep.
Linda? Thank you.
There we go.
Okay, so since we've got 5 minutes to kill, if you're adding things in to your butter tarts, like your pecans or walnuts or those chips that you're gonna do, oh my God, I can't talk, my brain is not working. The caramel chips there, Jeffrey, if you wanna add those in, if you're adding stuff in, I want you to take your dough out of your fridge and just add a little bit into the bottom of them while we wait. So Maria and Gwen, if it's boiling a little and it's gonna become thicker when you boil it, just keep
Sorry, what did
stirring
you
it.
say about the dough?
Okay, so Sadie, if you're adding stuff into it, like chocolate chips or walnuts or raisins,
Yeah.
then you want to put them in now.
In the dough or in
in the little cups, you want to put them in now.
All right.
Okay, Danielle, leave them in the fridge for as long as it takes to make the inside of it. So the filling, that's all. Doesn't have to be in there for too long.
How much stuff should we add to per tart? Like if I'm putting in.
Okay, a baker's rule is always 3s. So 3 caramel chips or 3 raisins or 3 pecans or pecans.
Got it.
3. A rule of the baker is 3.
So Gwen, yeah, it wasn't supposed to boil, but I think that because you're doing the salted butter and the skim milk, that's why you need to.
It's gonna thicken up. So if it's thick, take it off. And then add your skim milk and your vanilla. Nobody asked me to answer the question. Did anybody get their Christmas shopping done? Except for Laura didn't. Laura's like, no. Anybody else get their Christmas shopping done? Anybody? No.
I did, but I had to send it to Ontario, so that's the only reason.
Ammon, you've gotten your Christmas shopping done? Seriously? Woo.
With my family, I'm doing a $50 gift exchange, and I got the present for that.
Good job, Sadie.
Hey, Gwen, you said no one can't seem to order from Canada for U.S. delivery. Oh, so you're delivering in the U.S. Pardon me, I read that wrong. Because I just ordered something from the U.S., but it said it wouldn't be here for 21 days, and I went, well, that's out the window.
It's gonna come like the day before Christmas.
Yeah, I am not done. But I can tell you right now that we're doing our Christmas in Canmore. Well, if anything, if no restrictions, more restrictions have, and we're going skiing. So hopefully that'll work out.
I like that Nina laughed.
Nina laughed?
About having her Christmas done.
Oh. Okay, so it should be, I have to find someone to do my shopping in the US and deliver. Not working to my favor this year. Sorry, honey. I'm sorry, Gwen. Oh my God, 7 children? God bless you, lady. Oh my gosh. Okay, I totally understand. 7 kids, whoa. I only have 2 and it's whoa. But I'm also getting a new puppy. I'm getting a new puppy. So for the people that have been here last year or last time, I think I told you I had a puppy already. I'm getting a new one. It's the sister now of the same mom and dad that was just born. And we get her, well, she was born in November. We get her in December 23rd. Yeah, and so we have Coda is the first one, and Kenai is the second one. Can anybody tell me where those names come from? Anybody? Coda and Kenai? Brother Bear, you know, the movie Brother Bear, Coda and Kenai, those are gonna be my dogs. So there you go. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. It's gonna be a very busy Christmas. What I want you to do is take an egg and I want you to crack it in here and whisk it good. Or mix it if you don't have a whisk, it's all good. So I'm gonna grab an egg. I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay. So mix it in together good. So it should look like this. Look like a liquidy, kind of sticky together. Does everybody's look like that? Yeah, everybody's look like that? Oh, good. Maria, that looks good. Yeah, yeah, that looks good. Oh, okay, seriously, Laura, you're cut off. Like, just kidding. I'm a little teapot, short and stuff. Sadie, that looks perfect. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is grab your dough out of your fridge, put it on the counter with me, and grab a tablespoon. Everybody got their dough out and a tablespoon? Okay, we're good. Deepa, you're good? Yeah, okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do, for the people who have put stuff in, oh, Jeffrey, that looks good and tasty. So the people who put stuff in their butter tarts, you're gonna have more liquid than butter tarts. Does that make sense? Because you're not filling the whole thing empty, it's already filling up. So you're gonna take a scoop. If you don't have one of these, that's okay, don't worry about it. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. If you have a tablespoon, it's good. Let me get organized here. Okay, so I'm gonna take one of these and I'm gonna scoot it in. And I don't want it to fill up all the way, so I'm gonna show you what I did. So see how there's a little bit of dough left on there on the edges? You want about this much off the top so it doesn't boil over. Because if it boils over, it's gonna crust and it's gonna go all over your oven and it's gonna smell really, really bad. And you're gonna have smoke pluming out of your oven. You don't want that, right? So leave about this much room from the top of your dough.
Also, how big is your scooper, would you say? Like an inch or two?
Well, I don't even know.
I think a tablespoon, if you guys have a tablespoon.
Yeah, if you have a tablespoon, just use that. But remember to leave about this much off the top edge of your dough because it's going to boil up and you don't want it to go all over the place. Does that make sense? Everybody good? Okay, I'm going to move my room. I'll show you what I'm doing instead of seeing my lovely face again.
I actually never imagined using an ice cream scoop to fill in the tart shells. It's amazing.
Ah, good. I'm glad. Mine looks like an ice cream scoop, really, honestly. I guess technically it is. It's what bakers use to, you can use this too. Here's a trick, Gwen. If you're making cookies, you can use these to scoop out cookie dough and they'll have even cookies all around. Give you
all the tricks.
You're not sticking around. When they come out of the oven and they're a nice golden brown color, I want you to leave them and let them cool down completely before you touch them. I know it's going to be really hard that you want to try them and eat them. You can't do that. You're going to burn your tongue. So you don't want to do that. You want to leave them to cool completely. Once you got them down and they're cool completely, well, I've got one of these, a spatula or a knife, and you're going to go around the edge of the tart to get them out. Please do not do this with your pan and dump them over because all the innards will come out and, well, then you're going to have to eat them all. And that's not what you want to do. So make sure you just scrape the edge of the tart to take them out, and they should, like, you can kind of almost turn it like a knob and they'll be able to pop out. And then how to store them if you don't eat them all in one sitting, but please don't because you're going to be feeling sick. To store them, put them in a Tupperware container with a tight lid on them. They do not need to be refrigerated. They can sit on the counter up to 3 days only. After the 3 days, then they'll start to go bad and you don't want to eat them. If you want to freeze them, go ahead, by all means. Keep them in the Tupperware container. And if you're going to be stacking them, put parchment paper in between it and then stick them in the freezer. And then when you're taking them out to thaw, just leave them on the counter.